Everything in her kitchen was alive. The spoons nestled cozily and chattered with the forks, while the steak knives took a dive in a sudsy sea and sputtered, battered. While outside there's thunder, there's lightning, the storm rages and wanes, but everything in her kitchen was alive. The kettle burbled to the peppers and the zucchini sizzling in a hot-ass pan to survive. A step back, teeny weeny, 'cause outside there's thunder and there's lightning, the storm rages and wanes, but everything in her kitchen was alive. Red wine pour, a haven in the storm, a kitty that snores, a house that's warm. The news can wait just a minute, just a breath, a moment to contemplate not death, but the merry, the extraordinarily ordinary.
Greetings. My name is Nikki Schiro. I am a New York City artist. I live and work in Manhattan, making paintings and sculptures. And for the last 12 years, I've been an artist in residence of the Creative Center, where I make and talk about art with patients and their families while they're getting treatment for cancer over in Mount Sinai West Hospital. And we've been making a series of web tutorials for folks to do at home during this pandemic while they're kind of trapped at home. And today I'm joined with my friend Marie Simmons from Italy. Welcome.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here.
Lisa is a singer, songwriter, essayist, and published poet. Her music, Hippie Tendencies and NoteSpeak, can be found online on Spotify, Apple Music, etc. The American debut of NoteSpeak was at the Zee Jaipur Theater, I hope I didn't butcher that, festival in Boulder, Colorado in September 2017. On the strength of that performance, she was invited to be a speaker and performer at the 70th Conference on World Affairs at the University of Colorado in April 2018. In November 2019, she presented NoteSpeak in Italy, Austria, and Prague. In January 2020, she presented NoteSpeak in India at the Jaipur Music Stage. Lisa has just been signed to the American Grammy award-winning label, Ropeadope Records. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Who released her poetic musical album, NoteSpeak, on March 2020, receiving a 4-star review from the iconic Downbeat magazine. Welcome.
That was a mouthful.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is such a great idea. I'm so pleased that you asked me to be a part of it. This is wonderful.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. So what are you going to teach me today?
I'm going to work with you on writing a poem. Okay? Yay. Have you ever written a poem before?
No.
Okay, so you have...
Well, I did, but in school we did haikus, you know, and stuff like that, but not like just not without that structure.
Right. Okay. So we have a couple different ways we can approach this. I thought of 2 different things for you. One is a poem based on a painting, which I thought might be an interesting approach for you, if you like that. Otherwise, we're going to go with my other prompt that I thought of, which is finding something extraordinary out of the ordinary. Your choice.
I mean, since this video is not really particularly for me, I think that the second one might be, because I would go for the first one, but the second one might be more...
We'll do that another time. We'll do that another time, the 2 of us.
I would love that. Yeah, I would love that. But for me,
yeah, that would be great. So let's do.
The second one might be great for everybody. So Lisa told me to get a pen and paper, or you could use a tablet or anything.
A computer, really. Pad of paper, whatever. Just, whatever it feels good to put your words down. I think that it's really good to start out, though, writing by hand. There's something about that organic, putting pen to paper that sort of helps ideas flow a little bit easier.
I read something about that. Like, it really does do something.
It does. It is, it is. In fact, I write on my computer a lot, but I always do my morning pages, like when I just get up and write down my pages for the day, my thoughts, clear my mind, always by hand. A couple suggestions for anybody who's really interested in digging into doing some poetry in these days, which is, like, you know, just even just putting your thoughts down, even if it's just for you, it's such a great exercise, and it really is a good way of sort of dealing with everything, all the chaos that's around us. So my suggestions would be a dream journal, you know, keeping a pad of paper by your bed, and when you wake up in the night, or as soon as you wake up in the morning, if you can remember any of your dreams or even just thoughts or feelings that you wake up with, to keep those in a journal. Because then you can go back to that and use that for your poetry, you know?
Nice.
So that's one suggestion that I have. As far as us getting right down to it right now, I'd say we want to look for something extraordinary in the ordinary. So maybe begin with looking around your room and seeing what catches your eye and writing down a few words about what you see around you.
Okay. Should I just
Just
go?
write down what you see and tell us as you write it.
The way the sunlight through this kind of weird cloud is hitting on this green plant moss, that caught my eye.
Okay, so let's write down wave. Let's write down wave, sunlight, green plant. Let's write down eyes, because you said something about how it struck your eyes. So put down eyes as well. Okay, what else do you see around you?
It's a whole bunch of chaos on the other side here.
Well, just ordinary things. Just think, hi.
We're recording. Bye.
So just ordinary things. What else? What other ordinary things are around you? I see in front of you a cup, a mug.
Yes, mug. Coffee mug.
Okay, coffee mug. What else do you see that's ordinary around you?
A desk.
Okay.
Painting. A window.
Good.
Chair. A bed.
Okay, that's enough to start with. Now, I want you to, we got to try to decide how you want to make these ordinary things extraordinary. So one of the tools, there's many tools that we can use as we write poetry or write anything really, like metaphor and simile and personification. There's so many different things that we can use that we can't talk about all of them right here. But what we want to do is elevate our language so that we're not too banal in how we approach this, right? And then the other thing is, we really need to focus on our subject, right? So we're talking about ordinary into extraordinary, but let's see if there's anything, any other metaphors that we can find to use these to imbue these objects with life. So what I want you to do right now, this is good, you might feel strange, but you can do it, is just to take a deep breath, close your eyes, and just breathe in for a count of 5, and out, and in, and out. Okay. Now, I want you to imagine that you are, and you can open your eyes now, but imagine this, you're walking down a path, okay? And it's a beautiful place out in nature somewhere, and you get to a gate, and you open that gate, and you walk in, and there's a house in front of you. And this house is a beautiful house. It's the most beautiful house you can imagine, whatever that means to you. There's some steps leading up to the front door. You walk up those steps, and you walk into this house. It's gorgeous. You turn to your right, and there's a beautiful office there. You sit down at a desk. In front of you, you have that paper, and you have that pen in your hand. Take a really deep breath, and with no consideration, no thought, write down the first words that come to your mind from that little journey.
I am grateful.
Write that down. Perfect. That's beautiful. Anything else? Is that the only thing that comes to your mind? That's fine if it is.
Let's get to work.
Sorry?
Let's get to work.
Okay, excellent. But write down, let's get to work. Let's write that down exactly. Okay, excellent. I think really good. The first thing that you talked about was gratitude. So let's try to take these ordinary objects and turn this into a poem about gratitude using those objects.
Okay.
Okay? So right now, let's think about the senses, because in poetry, what we want to do is we want to use all of our senses as much as possible, right? So thinking about that coffee cup, you just took a sip of that coffee. What did that coffee taste like?
Well, there's actually tea in there and it tastes amazing.
Okay, amazing tea. Write that down. What kind of tea is it?
I mixed Rubios and cinnamon tea, so it has like it's really good.
Oh my gosh, that sounds really good. I want some of that right now. Okay, so like your first line might be something like, the taste of gratitude is Rubios and cinnamon.
Oh my God, you're amazing.
That might be the first line of the poem, right? Now,
that's so beautiful.
The next thing we need to do, though, is decide if you want to rhyme or if you want to do a free verse poem. A free verse poem is simple and at the same time difficult. And using rhyme, it's a little bit more difficult because we have to, it's really easy to fall into tropes and to sort of overused things. Whereas when you do a free verse poem, there's no rules at all. You can do whatever you want. So your choice. Do we want to try to rhyme here? And we can also see as we go along, or do we want to go for a free verse?
I don't know. What do you think what's more interesting? Maybe the free verse is more unusual, right? For the average person.
So with that, let's go with that. And it's not so much what I think is easier. It's what you got to really connect, in the same way that you do with your art, to what is you're feeling inside. You know what I mean? So let's just keep going with your first answers. And your first answer was a free verse poem. So we're going to go with free verse. Okay. So we need to really use words that are carefully chosen to convey the emotion that we want to portray, right? Okay. So, for example, if we use words that are short and choppy, then words that sound like what they mean, like cut or kick or lick or bite or punch or jump, those all sort of sound like what they mean. So we need we need to think about what kind of words might be good.
Sound like gratitude?
Yes. I would suggest, my first instinct is to use sort of longer words and longer phrases that sort of express, that slow the reader down and express emotion. So read our first line.
The taste of gratitude is Rubios and cinnamon.
Okay, so we could do a sensory poem. We could go on and use all of the senses, the touch, the feel, so maybe write down some sensory words that you like. So we have the taste. What other kind of words could we use?
Touch.
Touch. Okay, is there a specific kind of touch that is related to gratitude?
Maybe embrace.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Hold.
Good.
Let go.
Yeah. Caress.
Caress. That's nice.
Okay. So now other sensory things. What about hearing? What's the sound? What's the sound of gratitude?
Mm,
I have a sound in my head, but I don't want to tell it to you
a
until you
hum?
come up with yours. What?
I would say like a hum.
I love that. Yes.
What was yours?
Mine was the sound of water in a small stream, or
Yeah,
in like a brook,
yeah,
over rocks, right?
that's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you like it, you can use it.
I'm gonna write that down too.
You. So yeah, the sound of water over rocks in a brook or a stream. I really like that. I think that sounds like gratitude. I like also a hum very much. And yes, I think hum is good. So where does a hum resonate? 'Cause I want to guide you. I don't want to give you every
In the
line.
heart.
Okay, a heart hum. Write that down. That's beautiful.
Okay.
So the sound of gratitude is a humming heart, or a heart hum, or the hum of a heart.
Oh, a heart hum. Nice. The humming of a heart. I like. The sound of gratitude. The sound of gratitude is a humming heart. Kind of
Whatever
like a
you want,
hummingbird, right?
however you want to play with those words.
Is a heart humming?
We can always change it. Remember, don't get bogged down on the idea that of trying to make it perfect the first time round. When we first start writing, we're just putting down our ideas, and then we're going to go and we're gonna clean it up.
Okay.
Okay, so don't worry about it.
All right. I put
So
down humming heart.
we've got the humming heart, or the heart hum, or whatever, and it's beautiful. So now let's go to the tactile sense of gratitude. Oh, we talked about caress,
Embrace. Hold on to. Let go.
embrace. Is there something specific, again, using the objects that are around you, that you can think of touching, that in some way inspire or gratitude? And in what way would you touch those objects?
This is gonna sound strange, but so for somehow I just thought like the touch of gratitude might be resonance, and then when you said that, I thought about touching something with my eyes, but that's maybe.
Oh no, that's beautiful. See, that's personification. When you imbue something that doesn't have qualities of a person, right, with
Yeah.
human qualities. So you've just done that. So you've just done something extremely poetic, touching with your eyes. So, and now we can use that with that beam of light that you were looking
Yeah.
at.
That's what I was,
falling on
because
the
I
plant.
just caught that. Yeah.
Yes. So how can you say that? How can you turn that into the feeling of touch using that phrase?
Um, Gratitude is
And
the touch.
don't feel like you have, go ahead.
The gratitude is the touch of sunlight on the eye. Or
Yes, yes, I love it. Write it down. Gratitude is the touch of sunlight on the eye.
okay, because that's
Okay.
color and everything, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
All right.
what are we missing? What are we missing? We have tactile, we have
Taste
hearing.
and smell, which I'm not good at, but we can give it a go. And so we got sound. Oh, we got taste. Yeah. So we would need smell and sight, I guess.
Sight. Yeah, yeah. So then we'll come back, but smell.
Okay.
What do you smell in this room besides the smell of your beautiful tea?
Tea.
And you can move around. You can move closer to things to capture a smell.
Smell of home.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Yes. So if we stay with our format, you have gratitude is the smell of home. But we're not married to this format. We don't have to absolutely stay with it. It's just a starting place, right?
Okay.
So
And
I think we can improve upon your sight line.
I don't have one yet.
Well, no, I mean the one about that's actually the touching line, but make it more about touch with your eyes, especially because we want to also include sight.
Okay. Yeah.
So this might be confusing, or we combine them in some way.
Okay.
But I think we can improve upon it. So I liked what you said. So something about how, as you looked at that light hitting that plant, that is what caressed your eye.
Okay, so gratitude is the sunlit plant touching upon my eye.
Yes. And I would use an adjective for touching. Change touching.
What's a word like caress? But I'm thinking about like when you meditate and you kind of feel like you kind of touch upon that higher, but you're not actually touching it.
Right.
But it's kind of like a caress, but it's more abstract, I think.
It sort of imbues you. I want to give everybody a really good tool right now. There's a great website that's called Rhyme Zone. And so I should have told you to pick that up as well before we sat down. But it's a great tool because it can give you a lot of rhymes or synonyms. Okay. And I'm going to look this up for you right now. I'm going to look up for a synonym for caress and read these to you. We have nuzzle. We have gently cuddle. We have snuggle, stroke, fondle, enfold, languid, delicate, sensuous, stroking, need, languorous. None of those hit upon the feeling that you were talking about in meditation, which I recognize.
But enfold was kind of pretty.
Enfold, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Gratitude is sunlit plant. Sunlit greens. Sunlit greens. Enfolding. I'm just gonna use caress. Caressing.
You just don't give up on trying to make it work.
No, but I like caress. It means when I just sit it there, I was like, that's what it is. Okay. Gratitude is sunlit. Gratitude is sunlit greens. It should be R, right? Gratitude is a sunlit. Life. A sunlit being. Caressing my eyes.
Okay, don't give up on it. Go back to the beginning and read the entire thing that you've written.
The taste of gratitude is rubiose and cinnamon. The sound of gratitude is a humming heart. Gratitude is a sunlit. I don't like the word plant anymore. Everything else is so beautiful. It's so simple.
What's a synonym for plant? Do you know what kind of plant that is that you're looking at?
I could say moss because it's moss. Sunlit moss.
Perfect.
Oh, that's better. Thank you. You're very good at this. Gratitude. No wonder she wins all these awards. Gratitude is sunlit moss caressing my eyes. Gratitude is the smell of home.
Okay, it sounds
All
really
right.
good. Read it one more time. So this is what we can keep doing, keep hearing the sounds. So read it one more time.
The taste of gratitude is rubiose and cinnamon. The sound of gratitude is a humming heart. Gratitude is sunlit moss caressing my eyes. Gratitude is the smell of home.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So what do you feel like is missing here? What else can we put in here?
I mean, we could put something of sight, I guess, but I
Yeah.
like that the smell of home being the ending.
Yes, me too. Okay,
Okay.
you read my mind.
Okay.
And also, it ties together our
All my things.
idea of making the ordinary extraordinary, and like that's the punch there at the home. That's
I get it. Okay.
okay. Awesome.
Ooh.
Excellent. So now let's think about sight. And again, even if it's not something that's in your room, but
Sight
something
of a
that you
familiar
love.
smile.
Sorry?
It's the sight of a familiar smile.
Yes, gorgeous.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, the sight of a familiar smile.
Or welcoming smile.
Yeah, that's exactly the word that I wanted to work on was familiar, because does that imbue it with enough of the feeling that you want to convey? Familiar is also, I mean, it could be good. Or maybe we could add another adjective, a familiar smile.
Welcoming.
Yeah, a familiar
Or just welcoming.
Smile.
Gratitude is a welcoming smile.
Gratitude is the sight of a familiar, welcoming smile.
Yeah, maybe familiar is a bit weird.
Gratitude is the sight of okay, so how else can you describe that smile that you're thinking of? I don't think familiar.
What about inviting? Gratitude is an inviting smile.
Yeah, I like that better than familiar. Although I like familiar too. It was just a matter of working with it to make it work. But familiar, is a sensation that we all love. To be acquainted with something. I mean, I guess maybe.
But it's not extraordinary. But it's not extraordinary, right? So that you need words that kind of make the other words extraordinary.
Right. So, but maybe intimate would have been a good.
Oh, okay. Gratitude
synonym for familiar. Do you know?
Yeah.
Perhaps it's something to think about. But now, so this is the other thing I want to say about poetry is, we are trying to strike a certain tone here, and you're trying to keep the tone of the first sentence. But writing poetry does not necessarily mean that we need to use, highfalutin words of 6 syllables. It just means
important. That's an important tip, because sometimes you think it should sound that way.
Yeah, no, poetry can be just the most basic, simple words. That's not it. What we're trying to do with poetry is capture a feeling, capture a moment, so that the person who reads that can get that sensation, can feel it. And it doesn't necessarily need to be exactly like yours is, right? But that allows emotion to come through, right? Okay, I'm loving where we are with this. Read it to me one more time. I have not written it down, so.
The taste of gratitude is rubiose and cinnamon. The sound of gratitude is a humming heart. Gratitude is an inviting smile. Gratitude is sunlit moss caressing my eyes. Gratitude is the smell of home.
Oh my gosh, great. Okay. Is there anything else that we need to put in this to just?
I think we need more
ordinary objects, huh?
More ordinary objects.
What did you say, Bill? I missed what you said.
I mean, it sounds pretty balanced, maybe because it's the 5, but what kind? Like more of the ones that we wrote down, like window.
Yeah.
Window.
The desk. What is your desk made of?
Metal.
Is that wood?
I think it's metal.
A metal desk.
Yeah.
Is it heavy? Is it light?
It's pretty heavy.
It's pretty heavy. So it's a heavy desk. It looks really smooth as well.
Well,
It
it's a
looks,
bit worn, but it
yes.
kind of was smooth at some point in its life.
But worn is a good thing because that's like you've used it. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
There's something in that that is extraordinary because think of all the things that you've done at that
Experience.
table.
Yeah.
All of the work that you've done, all of the fun that you've had, everything that table can represent in
All
that.
these art videos.
Yeah, yes. So that desk has also represented um, a gift that you are giving out, you know, that you're putting out into this world. So there's something about that. The desk is really obsessing me right now. You can tell, but I feel like there's a place for the desk in the poem.
Bring it on, because
Maybe it's the beginning of the poem. So maybe we go out of the gratitude is, and before we get to that, we say something about standing at this worn, smooth. I want to use something other than desk. Standing as I
table.
stand, or standing at this warm, smooth, much used. And we need something else for much used. Well used, well worn.
Experienced.
Sorry?
Experienced.
Experienced. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. So either as I stand or standing at this experienced desk. And then we need a synonym for gratitude to say that that's what you're feeling and like giving the introduction to the poem. You know what I'm saying?
Standing at this experienced desk. I
The word, I don't want to put words in your mouth. I was thinking of starting with the gratitude in the synonym. So standing in admiration, or standing with deep affection, or
Ooh, I like that. Deep affection.
okay, standing
What
with
else?
deep affection. And now again, I don't have the words in front of me, so you have to keep repeating to me.
Standing with deep affection at this well-worn desk.
I liked experienced also. That was good.
Oh, okay.
You liked.
Well, I'll repeat it with experience too. Standing with deep affection at this experienced desk.
Yeah, I actually like experienced because it gives, again, personification to the table, as if the table has experienced all of those things. And it makes me think of what we were talking about before, about all the stuff that has happened at that table. I love your word experienced. I think it's better than my well-worn.
Okay.
And remember, also, this is another good tip for everybody, that to convey emotion through poetry does not necessarily mean that everybody needs to know your every thought that you had behind it. There needs to be beauty in the phrase, and that will carry it through. Do you know what I mean? There's the very famous old saying that we need to show and not tell when we write. And part of that is just not being so specific necessarily, but talking about the emotions behind it, right? So, okay, so go ahead and read the whole thing from the top.
My handwriting is getting pretty messed up here, but let's try. I'm like the worst. It's all crossed out like a mess.
That's pretty much like my notebook. I don't know. You can't see. Let me see if I can take my computer over. Well, I'm in the small screen, but behind me in that thing, I've got one, two, three shelves of notebooks. And if I open any of them, that's what they look like, pretty much, all crossed out. And okay. So
Standing with deep affection at this experienced desk, the taste of gratitude is rubiose and cinnamon. The
Okay,
sound
stop
of
there. We need one more line before we get to that. Standing, what was it again? What's the first line again?
Standing with deep affection at this experienced desk.
And then maybe you go on to talk about how you're going to ponder. I'm pondering what gratitude is. You know, I'm wondering what gratitude is to me, or how can I tell you about my gratitude, or I feel like there's just something missing to connect that to gratitude is, gratitude is, gratitude is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what are you doing while you're standing there at that desk? And if not in this moment, in another moment. How about, I'm sorry. I just thought
tell me.
of you as an artist about painting with words.
What do you got? What would you say?
Well, like just that, standing, read me the line.
Standing with deep affection at this experienced desk.
Painting my words.
Painting my words.
And what do you want this poem to do? What do you want it, who do you want, how do you want it to touch people? What do you want it to be? How do you want it to live in the world, this poem?
Oh, I would like people to also maybe think about the extraordinary and the ordinary.
Okay, so let's put that in there. Read me the line again.
Standing with deep affection at this experienced desk. Painting my words.
Painting my words to share the extraordinary in the ordinary. The extraordinary of the ordinary, or something like that.
Extraordinary of the ordinary.
Something like that.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Because it's like I mean, I didn't really understand what you meant, that you needed that one other thing in between. But now that it's there, it makes a good. I see what you mean. There's like a transition. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now read the whole thing.
Okay. Standing with deep affection at this experienced desk, painting my words to share the extraordinary of the ordinary. The taste of gratitude is rubiose and cinnamon.
See, doesn't that make so much more sense to have that other line in there? Yes.
Yeah, it feels better. The sound of gratitude is a humming heart. Gratitude is an inviting smile. Gratitude is sunlit moss caressing my eyes. Gratitude is the smell of home.
Okay, I'm good with this. I think it's really close to being done. I ask, my only question for you to consider, do we have too many gratitudes? Do we want to change? Because sometimes repetition's a great thing. It's another tool. So,
yeah, but because we did the taste, the sound, maybe one gratitude, and then maybe we switch. Oh, you mean all over the poem? Yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to leave all of them in? I like it. It's just something to consider.
What's another word for gratitude that we could use?
I'm gonna look up synonyms for you right now. There's so many. The first one, I'm thinking of appreciation, praise. Yeah, but none of these are none of the things that I have in front of me right now.
Maybe look up grateful.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's see. Appreciative, which we've already used. Fortunate, fortune. That's a good one in some way to be used.
Yeah.
Delight is a wonderful word.
Oh, we can use fortune for the sunlight, the sunlit moss caressing my eyes, because some people can't see.
Right.
So should we say fortune is, or how fortunate for fortune?
And this is the other suggestion for everybody watching. You just need to keep reading it out loud, because poetry is about the sound of those words and how they go together. So just keep reading it, especially when you have a doubt.
Okay.
So
So
what does that line sound like with Fortune?
fortune is a sunlit is sunlit moth caressing my eyes.
Okay, I like it. I like Fortune. What do you think?
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
And then we go back to it. So the whole thing goes, standing with deep affection at this experienced desk, painting my words to share the extraordinary of the ordinary. The taste of gratitude is rubios and cinnamon. The sound of gratitude is a humming heart. Fortune is sunlit moss caressing my eyes. Gratitude is the smell of home.
For me, that's done.
That's
Like
done.
usually you can feel
Yes.
it. You can feel it when it's done. It just like sort of resonates. I mean,
Yeah.
it's in the sense that it's this part is complete. You could easily do other stanzas, and we could easily take it other places, but we really don't have the time.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other ways that we can manipulate it and change it and have it grow. But as a first draft, it's done.
Is this the base of all your songs? Do you start with the lyrics or you start with the sound sometimes?
That's such a great question. It depends, because I write both things that I sing, and then I also write poetry that is with
Spoken
music,
word,
right? So when I use the poetry and music, I usually start with a concept that Marco Kremaschini, my writing partner, and I develop simultaneously, because we want the music and the words to really be one unit. We don't want it to be like like I wrote something separately and try to put them together. So so I usually start out with a concept and I tell Marco about that concept, or vice versa, or he'll give me an idea, and then we'll both write separately. My home studio that Marco's in is downstairs, and so often I sit up here writing and I can hear him working on the piano.
That's something
Below, so that really inspires me to write as far as the poetry is concerned. And then as far as if I'm going to sing a song, it depends. I've written every way, but with the piano, I tend to come up with a melody, a little snip of a melody, and then add some words onto that, because it's sort of harder the other way around. So I usually start with at least the beginning of a melody before I get into the words, if I'm going to be singing it.
Fascinating.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a million ways that you can write. As I, sent you those videos, and I think that's what I said in one of them, is that there are 1 billion ways to write a poem or a song.
I'm going to try to include them in this video somehow, maybe like montage them at the front or the end, because I think they were great, especially the prompts, all of the ideas of what people can start this with.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the videos that I sent to you was just filming stuff around you, and then looking at it with fresh eyes and finding something within those, those images to inspire you. But it's a great prompt, I think, and since everybody's at home right now, it's a really good one to sort of, also because things are so difficult right now. It's such a hard time, and it's beautiful to be able to think about something else. And I love that you were led towards gratitude, because it's hard when times are tough and people are angry, and it's hard to hold on to that, and it's so essential, so important. So really beautiful. I'm so happy to have helped you birth your poem.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for your time and for this beautiful tutorial. And
it was my pleasure.
Hopefully we'll see you again sometime soon.
Yeah, I hope so too. Well, everybody take care of themselves. Be well, be safe, be sane, and take care.
Bye.
Bye.